How's it going, crypto community? It's Jade, the XRP Martian, back with another Martian report. This time we're going on a walk in the woods, whoa, with the Scooby-Doo of sorts, right? Had some people in the comments say that I could be Shaggy in a film. Well, just so happens I travel around with Scooby-Doo, okay? At least whenever I'm home. At any rate, the conversation is not so much today about obviously me and my beastie boy who's now chasing something down, but instead the video is meant to address the elephant in the room. First off, why has Jade been missing for over a week? And why is this video titled $1,000 XRP question of when, not if, right? I'm gonna try and answer both of those for you while we journey through the property here, back in the woods with tons of animals. At any rate, first question, why has Jade been MIA? Well, I'm gonna answer this question first because, challenge to all of you out there, I know that the average viewer only has a 5-minute attention span, so if you want the content, you're gonna have to just pay attention. And I'm gonna weave it into this conversation too. Many of you know that I'm great at that, but those of you who don't, I challenge my viewers to actually have an attention span longer than that of a goldfish. So my videos will be about 15 minutes from now on, and that's where I'm gonna cut them off at. So, that little tangent aside, XRP will go to $1,000 and higher. As the title says, it is not clickbait, and I will explain that later. But first, why has Jade been MIA? Well, aside from sitting around processing what happened last week, as many of you know as far as announcements go, I've been trying to do a video where I construct all the evidence before you, because I don't want to leave anyone even able to question what I am going to lay out as far as through this video. But I came to an epiphany, because I spent a whole week on one video, and you guys know that before this I was making videos every day, even while traveling I was making a video every single day, at least one, right? And so why did Jade suddenly go missing for a whole week? It's because this is a question that can't be answered easily and in a way that is leaving no question. It would take me hours to do so. Hours. Because every time I go and I explain one little piece of the puzzle, it takes 5 plus, more little pieces to put into place for you to explain why that one is going to be the piece, right? It frustrated me to no end. Actually, it frustrated me so much that I was joking on Twitter a few days ago about the fact that it's like, y'all are lucky that I'm not a greedy person, and that I want to share my knowledge with you. Knowledge that is very valuable to many, could be very valuable to anybody listening, right? Now, before we go on, as per every time I talk about finance on my channel, I am not a financial investor, not academically or anywhere outside of the last 3 years or so that I've spent, 4 years really, that I've spent researching cryptocurrencies, and really only the last 2 that I've really dug into finance, the world of business, right? So, pretty novice. There's a lot of stuff I don't know, technical terms. There's plenty of financial experts out there that could make me look like an idiot just because I don't know the appropriate terminology for the things I say. Whoops. Oh well, sorry. I like to talk in general terms so that the average person can understand more complex things typically. I know I can get really complex, and many of you know that I can get complex, but this video is about why XRP can hit $1,000, and I want to convey to the general masses why XRP will hit $1,000. And it's really quite simple. The reason that XRP is going to hit $1,000 plus is because everybody's going to use it. Simple as that. Okay, well, Jade, now you've made a generalized statement, and you have no evidence to support this. What is your supporting evidence? Where is this claim coming from? Says the skeptic. Says the person that doesn't know what XRP is. Says the person who has not followed my content for the last 3 months, or anybody in the spaces content, for the last several years now. Well, why is it then that XRP is going to hit $1,000? Why is it everybody's going to utilize it? Well, because the people who tell the people to use money are saying that they're going to use XRP. Is that a Bigfoot? Who are those people? Bank of America, American Express, Visa, MasterCard, SBI Holdings, MUFG Bank, largest in Japan, third largest in the world. The Hong Kong Monetary Authority, Bank of Hong Kong. The European Central Bank, hundreds of banks in the European Union, including Santander. Banco de Brazil, I believe. I might be butchering the in-between, but the Central Bank of Brazil. Argentina, Uruguay. Over 30 now. I think we're at 50 of 50 countries in the world are integrating into RippleNet as we speak. Why is that not causing the price to go up, some will say? Because we're playing a long game here, and you're all early. Anybody that's in XRP right now, anybody that's in XRP in 2019, really anybody that's in XRP before November 2021 is early. I don't know that we will see the price move before then. I think that before then, what we are likely to experience is maybe a new retail run. If Bitcoin continues to rise, then that will bring attention to XRP, and XRP will do well just because of that. But other than that, other than a retail bull run, we're probably not going to see anything happen with XRP this year. Maybe slight motion up, because MoneyGram is saying that they are going to have a real impact on the price this year, right? So maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm being a little bit pessimistic about the date, but XRP will exceed $1,000. And it's just a matter of whether you are patient enough. We're at 7 minutes, 45 seconds into a video. Congratulations. You are watching this video longer than the average person has the attention for in the modern age of the internet, where people have a 5-minute attention span. We've made it beyond. So welcome to the real conversation here. Why is XRP going to 1,000? Because the Federal Reserve came out last Monday saying, what? That they made a decision. A decision for what? Well, they've made a decision about what system they're going to utilize to update the nation's payment systems to provide instant payment settlement at an affordable enough rate to make it so that people can be paid on a more frequent, more frequent than bi-weekly payout, or even weekly, because it'll now be affordable for them to do such. And they're going to do such by utilizing a neutral, level playing field that will bypass the dollar. I'm basically quoting, paraphrasing, but quoting the speech that was given Monday. I'm just giving you the important words. And all those important words related to what? The system that is going to be used, the system that the Faster Payments Task Force helped the Federal Reserve decide upon. How many prospective individuals are there that the Faster Payments Task Force reviewed and finalized their reviews of? 16. How many of those 16 use a neutral, that means a level playing field asset, to settle their payments in anything that is not the dollar? So let me rephrase that, because it was a long statement, long question, right? How many of the proposals do not settle using the dollar of the 16 that were finalized? Do you get how I figured it out? Deductive reasoning. Elementary, my dear Watson, elementary. See, there are two types of reasoning, inductive and deductive. Reductive is essentially another way to look at deductive, right? It's where you deduce, you reduce your your potentialities, your potentials, right? And so that's how I'm 100% confident now that XRP is going to $1,000 plus price. Not clickbait. I'm not saying when, but I'm gonna say it's gonna come sometime between 2021, November 2021, and 2024, because that's the time frame that we now have between ISO 20022 going live and being utilized by any major global economic power who wants to remain a player within the global economy, and the United States Federal Reserve's deadline for when they expect retail markets to enter into this new payment ecosystem that they came out and announced. There you go. When will you be rich, XRP investors? Sometime between the end of 2021 and the end of 2024. That's our current numbers. That's what's ahead of us right now. And that is based purely upon utility. There are plenty of retail investors out there, speculative, big dollar men and women, who could absolutely trigger this far sooner than 2021. But there are also plenty of vested interests, I'm sure, who could try their very best to elongate the process beyond 2024. But based upon the bell curve of possible dates, I believe that that little 3-year gap there between 2022, end of 2021 and 2024, that's a pretty solid benchmark for where most prominently, probably within a 5-degree or 5% chance of error, that XRP will hit $1,000 within that time frame, somewhere along those years. And $1,000 is just the fun number that I'm putting out there because it's the biggest number that I've promoted in the space. That's not where I think it's going to stop. That's just where the safe people will say that it will stop. But I've done the math, and I've done the math conservatively many times over. And $1,000 is not just conservative price projection, it's downright absurd to think that that is where it's going to go max. In reality, I think that $1,000 at some point in the future will be the bottom of a future XRP bear market. I say that with a straight face. Yeah, call me crazy. I say call me crazy because of a quote from Steve Jobs. And because I would butcher trying to narrate the entire thing, I'll just share the end. And it was Ode to the Crazy Ones, or Here's to the Crazy Ones. Because those who are crazy enough to believe they can change the future, change the world, are the ones who do. And do you know why it's the ones who are crazy enough to think they can change the world who do change the world? Because if you don't believe you can change the world, there's no way for you to. You have to first believe before you can act. And to change the world, you have to act. And it takes a lot of belief to act. A lot more belief than it takes to just believe something. So if you're going to ever change the world, you better start first believing that you can change the world today, so that you can start building that self-belief system until you've got the confidence to act and change the world. So my community, this is going to be among the last videos purely dedicated to XRP. My channel is moving forward from here. And this doesn't mean that I'm abandoning XRP. In fact, I intend to continue to cover it into the foreseeable future. Anything that comes out, bad news, good news, whatever we get, right? To help keep everything in line. But my channel is moving from just XRP to not just blockchain, but to a technology journalistic channel, because I'm obsessed with technology and my attention has been being pulled to other areas of our crazy, crazy world. AI, the Internet of Things and how this will be integrated into daily life, virtual reality, essentially. The robotics industry and how this is rapidly advancing faster than most people actually realize. Automated services, so that's not just, you know, your autonomous cars, but your automated fast food that we're now seeing roll out. And so I'm going to start talking in a greater degree about these trends, because as somebody who is now confident in my investment, 150% confident in my investment in XRP, and by and large based upon the information that I've just presented here on my channel even, right? I've wrote the book for you, so to speak, with the videos that I've made up to this point. So everything else XRP that I cover from here on out will simply be about the development, breaking down how people can get into this ecosystem, and just reiterating old points. So I'm probably only going to have one video per day, if that, about XRP, and the rest we're going to start to try and grow the channel into other facets. And this is multi-purposed. It's not just to keep creating content, you know, about XRP and about crypto, but to help expose crypto to a larger audience, an audience who is interested in tech developments, AI, robotics, etc., right? See, it's called 4D chess, and I'm open with you, my community, about the kind of steps forward I'm taking, because I feel you value that. I feel that what I am providing, the reason why people enjoy my content, is because I'm providing a breath of fresh air, so to speak, where I'm being open about the things that I have to do in order to get attention in this crazy world we live in, where YouTube algorithms manipulate everything. Oops, we'll see if YouTube filters that, right? But at any rate, I hope that you all appreciated this video and can appreciate the path forward I'm hoping to take the channel in, to both provide more content for you, my viewers, that is of value to you and helps to broaden everybody, including myself's view of the future beyond just crypto, so that we can be more informed in our future decisions as future XRP millionaires. And I'm just going to start acknowledging us all as millionaires now, because, you know, it might be counting our eggs before they've hatched, but at the end of the day, as we've discussed in live streams, the only way XRP fails is if the global economy fails and we go back to the Bronze Age. And then nobody's going to be remembering my face or my stupid videos, because nobody cares about the internet at that point. We're all killing each other for food. Seriously, there is no other route forward for this world now. It's either XRP or Bronze Age. You know, a kind of weird cyberpunk Bronze Age, but hey, you know, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. With all that said, all that shared, I think that about wraps up my sentiment, what I wanted to express in video. I apologize again for everybody who's been, wondering why I just dropped off the face of the earth. As you can see, I'm kind of out in the middle of BFE. Don't really have good internet out here. It's dial-up. It's probably gonna take me 4 hours just to upload this video. I'm gonna try and go down to a friend's place to use his little bit faster dial-up, right? Seriously, it's that bad. But I do appreciate all of you for your continued support and your outreach. I promise I'm not disappearing on y'all and that I've not given up on XRP. Far from it. Instead, I'm so confident about XRP's future that I don't even feel the need to keep my channel primarily focused on just XRP anymore. And I'm going to do my best to try and make it so that this content that I'm creating can reach a larger audience who may not be aware of blockchain or crypto at all, but are at least open to the prospect of a technology such as blockchain and how it can change the world, right? So, with all that said, thank you all for tuning in. As always, you've been listening to Jade, the XRP Martian. This is now going to be the Martian Report, not XRP Martian Report. And I can't wait to see all of you in my next video, as always, on Mars.